The Judicial Conduct Tribunal investigating allegations of sexual harassment against Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge has just concluded its marathon hearings on day 2 of the Eastern Cape Judge President being in the witness stand. He's concluded his testimony and evidence in chief before the fact-finding body that's investigating allegations of sexual harassment against him after a complaint was lodged by High Court Secretary Andiswa Mengo. Now, she alleges that the Judge President made unwanted sexual advances towards her between 2021 and 2022. Now, there are allegations that are in dispute before the tribunal, and there's been a dispute of facts that's been presented before the tribunal. Among them is the issue or the alleged incident of the 14th or 15th of November 2022, when High Court Secretary Andiswa Mengo alleged that the Judge President attempted to expose himself to her when he summoned her to his chambers in 2022. Now, the Judge President denies this and also denies sending explicit material to the junior staffer through social media platform WhatsApp. Now, those are the instances that are in dispute before the tribunal. Of course, the Judge President does not dispute that there were flirtatious exchanges between himself and the junior staffer, but he says that this was the beginning stage of what he was trying to pursue, and that was a romantic relationship with Mengo. Now, the Judge President went through his WhatsApp messages with the complainant and highlighted some instances where she alleged that he sent her his body parts or exposed himself to her. How she was able, well, what she says is that she was able to identify that it was the body parts or the manhood of the Judge President due to the fact that his body hair matched that is on his head. And that is what made her able to identify that was the body part or the manhood of the Judge President. She also alleges that the Judge President sent her an image of a man performing a sexual act on a woman. And so those are the pictures that are in dispute before the tribunal, and which the Judge President denies. Of course, Mbenenge also says that he has lodged a complaint or has opened a case of crimen injuria against Mengo for the 14th or 15th of November 2022 incident in which he's alleged to have attempted to expose his manhood to Mengo after summoning her to his chambers in 2022. He says he has done this to clear his name and because he alleges that he is innocent and that incident did not happen. The meaning behind emojis was also thrust in the spotlight before the tribunal when the panel and his legal counsel, Mbenenge's legal counsel, Advocate Moses Kakane, probed Mbenenge on the meaning that he attached to a peeled banana emoji when he sent it to the High Court Secretary. There was that incident where the Judge President says that he did not think that would be associated with a male private part. Of course, in May, we heard testimony from forensic and legal linguist, Dr. Zakira Dokrat, who said that this was meant to depict a male private part. Now, the Judge President says that he could have, in fact, sent her anything. It could have been chocolate, just to show that he was intending at that point to give her something nice. The Judge President was also asked about the syringe. Now, this is an incident in 2021 where Andiswa Mengo was complaining or told the Judge President that she had taken leave of absence from work because she was stressed and had a medical emergency due to the fact that she had a previous altercation with the court manager. Now, the Judge President, after a series of exchanges between them, then said that he will come and give her a boost, and then inserted an emoji of a syringe. Now, Dokrat also spoke about the syringe and said in the context of those conversations, the syringe was meant to depict or convey the message of a male private part. And that is the context in which, because those conversations were of a sexual nature, the syringe was meant to depict a male private part. the Judge President actually struggled with this question because when he was asked about whether that was the intended message that he was trying to convey to the complainant, he said possibly. But the tribunal chairperson, retired Judge President Bernard Mwepe, was not convinced and was dissatisfied with the answer that was given by the Judge President. Of course, he was at pains to explain what he actually meant. He says he can understand why someone would have or reach such a conclusion, but says that was not the intention that he had when he attached that syringe to the message to the complainant. Of course, we also heard from the Judge President apologizing to South Africans for what he says was the exposure of what was supposed to be private messages between himself and the complainant. He says that he does not apologize that these interactions took place, but in fact apologizes that South Africans were privy to such private content, and that is the basis upon which he has apologized to South African citizens. We also saw the Judge President being cross-examined by the evidence leader, Advocate Salome Skeepers, who posed a critical question to the Judge President. Now, the Judge President previously, in his evidence in chief, said that he was trying to pursue a romantic relationship with the complainant. But the evidence leader, Advocate Salome Skeepers, asked the Judge President whether he is aware or knows the definition of what courting is. In her definition, she does mention that it is the pursuit of a relationship between two persons that may be permanent and lead to marriage. Now, Advocate Salome Skeepers says it could not be the intention of the Judge President to pursue such a relationship with Mbenenge because, in fact, he is already married. That ruffled the feathers of the Judge President, who said that particular aspect of matters has no place before the tribunal and that, in fact, it is irrelevant and cannot be pursued by or considered by the tribunal. Now, proceedings are expected to resume at 9 a.m. tomorrow, with Skeepers continuing with her cross-examination of Mbenenge. Zoleka Kodashe, Eyewitness News, Sandton in Johannesburg.